Hi everyone. Sorry it's been a little while since I've made a video. Things have been pretty hectic, but good, but still hectic. So I've been meaning to do a longer, more substantial video in response to the Sam Cedar, Chase Strangio video, because I think that Sam Cedar in particular, is someone who is still tied to, like, he hasn't done what ContraPoints has done and said, oh, I don't need to explain gender anymore. It's not up to me to justify myself. Like, he's still in the position of, the rational world where things need an argument and some sort of justification. So I think in that sense, he's one of the more vulnerable targets. So because of that, I want to make content sort of targeting the stuff that they put out that advocates gender theism. But in the meantime, I've got this little morsel of hilarity, which was just a quick little dialogue with a gender theist who goes by the name of ShittiCat Studios. I'm assuming this is like, I hope this is, someone who's under 21, because the logic here is pretty juvenile. But, who knows? Maybe it's a 50-year-old man pretending to be a 17-year-old or something. Anyway, so this was originally posted in response to my video about caring for someone who has a gender identity, and which basically made the analogy that lots of people have made between gender identities and anorexia, and how just like affirming what a person believes isn't necessarily caring for them. So ShittiCat Studios writes, everyone has a gender identity, ? If you are a woman, that is your gender identity. If you are a man, that is your gender identity. If you are transgender, non-binary, demigender, or just use different pronouns, that is your gender identity. My gender identity is demigirl. Your gender identity is cisgirl. It's not that complicated, and it's not exclusively LGBTQ. Why they thought I was a cis girl, I'm not quite sure. I figured it was probably some kind of baiting of like, oh, you get triggered when people don't recognize your sex as well, but unfortunately that never gets clarified. So I responded, so in the beginning you said, if you are a woman, that is your gender identity, but how, in your opinion, would one know if they are a woman? And ShittiCat responds, if someone feels like a woman, they are a woman, cis or otherwise. Of course, they would need to present like a woman. To which I responded, okay, so one needs to present like a woman in order to be a woman. If that is the case, by this logic, would it be true that the first adult human females to wear pants in Western society were not women because they did not present as such? Would this not mean that all gender non-conforming women are not women as they do not present like women? ShittiCat responds, no, that is a different case. I think you're missing the point. To which I responded, it's not just one case, it's many. But either way, what is so different about these cases? You're welcome to try to come up with another definition, but my guess is that unless the new definition makes reference to biology in some way, it will end up being just as contradictory as the old one. And ShittiCat says, my point is that everyone has a gender identity, even straight cis people. If cis people, quote, don't have a gender identity, they're stupid. To which I responded, so you don't have an answer to the question, what is it that is so different about these cases? And your defense appears to consist of calling people who disagree with your arguments stupid. Not exactly convincing. Maybe try to think of it like this. Everyone has hands, right? Some people have one hand, some people have two hands, some deformed people have flippers. Other people have no hands at all. But no one has a hand identity even if their life is dramatically shaped by their hands or having no hands or whatever the case may be. So, for example, I don't have a hand identity, I simply recognize that I have two hands. Likewise, most people don't have a gender identity, they just recognize the sex of the body they were born into. On the other hand, which wasn't meant to be a pun, but it kind of is, other people are uncomfortable with the sex of the body they were born into to some degree, and as a result, invent various identities in an attempt to disassociate from their physical body. But just as proclaiming a two-handed identity isn't going to give a one-handed person two hands or change someone's flippers into hands, the same is true of gender identities. These types of identities are only useful to people who are trying to disassociate from their physical body, and most people aren't doing that, so they have no need for such an identity. And then ShittiCat responds, "Are you really comparing hands to gender identity? You have officially missed the point, and I will no longer argue with an idiot. Have a good day." To which I responded, "No, you are deliberately misreading that so you can run away from a conversation that you started. What is actually happening is that I am comparing one physical trait, hands, with another physical trait, a sexed body. I am pointing out how these two different physical traits, like all physical traits in general, cannot be changed or overridden by an identity. This is so obviously true that you have no choice but to insult people for disagreeing with you. On the other hand, I don't need to insult you because you're wrong. Have a great day." And then ShittiCat Studios deleted the whole comment thread, but unfortunately for ShittiCat, I had already screen capped the whole thing, assuming that it was going to make some pretty entertaining content, and here we are. So yeah, things should be a bit more productive, hopefully. In the next little while, I'll try to get more stuff up. I have a bunch of unfinished stuff that might make an appearance, and I think that's it. Have a good one.
The flower said, "I wish I was a tree." The tree said, "I wish I could be a different kind of tree." The cat wished that it was a bee. The turtle wished that it could fly really high into the sky, over rooftops and then